Lisa, are you ready for 23 questions?
Yes.
And do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before we start?
Sure. My name is Lisa. I just moved here from Seattle, Washington. I have a small dog named Nico, who is the light of my life, and a very, very patient partner named Max. And I love books and coffee more than most things in this world.
Love it. All right, let's get started. Hi, Melissa. Are you ready to answer some questions today?
I'm ready to answer some questions today.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Melissa. I work here in the Research and Reader Services Department of the Reading Public Library. I love books. I love cats. I love drinking tea, probably too much, which is why I have so much energy today.
Awesome. All right, let's get started. Lisa, where did you recently move from?
I recently moved from Seattle, Washington, so a bit of a hike.
And what are you looking forward to doing in Massachusetts once the pandemic is over?
Enjoying seasons.
Yeah.
We don't really have those in Washington. It's mostly just beautiful summer and then rain. That's it.
It's pretty close to Massachusetts, too.
Yeah, we also get like warm weather.
That's true. And we get snow. We get a lot of snow.
Which was, I got here right when the snow happened, so.
Lovely. What a welcome gesture from Massachusetts.
Great.
Next question. What interests you about children's librarianship?
So many things. But I think that the thing that I really love about children's librarianship and children's literature in general is that you can get these really big concepts, really big ideas, and then they're kind of boiled down into books that are palatable for all different age ranges. You have books that are for second graders that deal with really hard topics and are in ways that make sense to them. And then you could even give those books to someone who is an adult who wants to think about that same topic as well.
I love that. My first question for you today is, what made you want to be a librarian?
Well, I really like books. More importantly, I really like people and giving people access to free books and information and resources. And yeah, so that's basically it.
What's your favorite thing to do in Massachusetts?
Oh, my favorite thing to do in Massachusetts is to go to Cambridge and go on a day-long bookstore and cafe crawl. So like, I usually start in like Harvard Square and like I'll go to the Harvard bookstore and then pick a cafe. Maybe I really like to go to L.A. Burdick's because then I can just have like chocolate with my chocolate.
Yes.
And then just go on through like to all the squares, to all the bookstores, Pandemonium, Games and Books, Rodney's used books, which I believe is actually moving now. But yeah, bookstore and cafe crawl. That's my favorite thing to do.
I love that. All right, what's your favorite age range to recommend books to?
Oh, that's a hard question, but I feel like 5th graders probably.
Okay.
They're like right on the cusp. And there's a big range of like different types of books that they can read. And I feel like I love like juvenile fiction is like my jam as well. So we can get really excited together about books, which is really fun.
That is fun. All right. If you were stuck on a desert island, what 3 books would you wish you had?
Can I cheat and bring my Kindle?
No. These are books that you don't have. You're just on the desert island, but you're sitting there thinking, gosh, I wish I had that book.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yes.
Oh, well, gosh, I wish I had my Kindle. But I think if I was trapped on a desert island, having a choose your own adventure story.
Ooh.
Because then it's like different a ton of different times that you read it. And then you can have like escapism.
Yes.
And then probably like a survival book of like, these are plants you can eat. Those types of things.
Smart.
And then, I don't know, maybe like a Walt Whitman poetry book. I feel like if you're like trapped on an island somewhere in the middle of like the wilderness, having like some Whitman or some Thoreau to like put things in perspective and make you appreciate the palm trees. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that's a very thoughtful response. Melissa, name 3 books you wish you had on a desert island if you were stuck there.
Well, definitely the Lord of the Rings, like one of those volumes where the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and the Return of the King are like all bound into one volume, so that just counts as one book.
It's a little bit of cheating, but we'll take it.
I mean, Tolkien originally wanted them published as one book, but the publisher would not let him, so...
Did not know that.
Second, anything by Terry Pratchett, probably, because all of his Discworld books are just... I feel like if I were stuck on a desert island, like, that would really help to cheer me up and do a lot of good thinking while also a lot of good laughing. And then any one of the new books that have come out recently or will be coming out soon that are on a long list that I would like to read, any one of those I'll take.
So a new book, any new book.
Any new book that I haven't read before, preferably something longer, because I'm assuming I'll be stuck there for a while, I don't know.
Yeah, to fill up time.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Is your favorite genre to read?
Two genres, actually.
Okay.
I really like science fiction and fantasy. I started reading fantasy at a younger age. I actually was a very lucky person and got to read the first Harry Potter book before it was even published in the United States, thanks to one of my mom's coworkers.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what made me realize that I liked fantasy. And then my dad handed me The Lord of the Rings. And so, like, from then on out, it was, like, fantasy 24/7. And then when I was at art school, I took one of my liberal arts classes, was a science fiction class. And that really turned me on to reading science fiction. So now I read both and enjoy both. And yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
Awesome, okay. Have you watched any good TV shows this year so far?
More than I would like to admit.
Yeah.
My partner and I just finished watching Lovecraft Country, which is not for kids.
That's okay.
But it's on HBO and it is wild. And I'm like, I will still just like pause and be like, is that how that ended? Is that how that happened? But it's set like during like Jim Crow era and is a like magical mystery craziness that only HBO could create. Is wild.
I will say I did not sleep after Topsy and Bopsy. That episode scarred me.
Oh my gosh. We like finished watching it and I was like, I feel like we need to just watch the next one to like
to calm down.
Yeah, that or like put on a cooking show.
What's the first book that you remember reading?
Oh, I feel like this question is so hard because like I remember like obviously like being read to and like we would always read Goodnight Moon right before bed and apparently me and my sisters would always start crying when my mom would pull it out because we knew that it was time for bed. But the first book that I remember getting caught staying up past my bedtime reading was Ella Enchanted.
Nice.
And I needed to know what happened. I needed to finish it, and my mom like caught me and was like, and I was like, I only have one more chapter left, and also like I have a lot of feelings. And my mom was like, all right, just finish it. Just close the door.
A true book lover.
Classic.
Melissa, have you been watching any good TV shows or movies this year?
Yes, actually. For movies, I really enjoyed the PBS documentary, The Worlds of Ursula K. Le Guin, which is all about her life and her books, and it had a lot of authors talking about her as a person. So that was really great. And the other thing that I've been watching on Netflix is The Untamed, which is a Chinese drama. And that sort of has eaten my life for the past 6 months or so. Yeah, it's very, if you're looking for something to consume your life for 50 episodes and be immersed in, I recommend it.
All right, I'll have to check it out.
All right.
What's the first book you remember reading?
The first book that I remember reading, like technically, is one of those sort of learn to read books in school where it's like, oh, I forgot my homework or whatever. The first book that had an impact on me that I remember reading was in the 3rd grade. I read Mustang, Wild Spirit of the West by Margaret Henry, and that book really stuck with me. It took me like forever to get through because I, at that age, was not a strong reader, but I like plugged away and I read it, and it was about horses, so I enjoyed it. So that's the first book I really like remember reading.
I love that. Do you love horses?
I do love horses. Yes, I am a horse person.
I love that. All right. What's the last book that you read?
I actually just read New Kid for the first time by Jerry Craft, and oh my god, so good. So excited to read the next one. I love either books or graphic novels in general that do like a mixture of mediums, where it's like he does his own drawings within it, but then he is the drawn character. I loved it. I was like, oh, it's so good.
What's the last book that you've read?
I just finished an advanced reader copy of Fugitive Telemetry by Martha Wells, which is the next book in the Murderbot Diary series. It'll be coming out in April. It is a fast and funny sort of space opera romp. This one takes place on a space station as opposed to like a spaceship or a planet. But yeah, it's fast, it's funny. The narrator is very snarky and sarcastic, but there's also a lot of really good observations on society and personhood and things like that. So it's really nice because it has layers. It's a fun adventure, but also, thinks about a lot of things.
Nice. And this is the third book in the series?
This is actually the fifth book in the series.
Oh, wow.
I had to think. No, the sixth book.
The sixth book.
So the first chunk of the series is 4 novellas.
Okay.
Then there's 1 novel. And then this novella takes place in between the original 4 novellas and the novel.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Yeah.
Name 3 people, living or dead, you would invite to dinner.
Oh, Michelle Obama.
Okay.
Just right off the bat.
Yes.
I feel like I'm gonna only go with living people because I feel like that's more fun.
Okay.
So Michelle Obama for sure, and then let's see, who else would be like so cool to have dinner with? Oh, now my brain is like not working at all.
Okay.
But there are like, okay. Do you ever watch the YouTube video Binging with Babish?
I don't.
Okay, I can't remember his real name though.
Okay.
Because it's not Babish. I think his name is Andrew Rhea, actually. But we saw him speak a while ago, and he does this like whole YouTube show where he cooks foods seen in TV and movies.
Ooh.
But he's really, really funny, and my partner's obsessed with him. And I feel like he would just be really, really fun to get dinner with, especially like if we got to cook together.
Yes.
Let's see. Dinner with someone who would be so cool. Ooh, Ruth Reichel.
Who's Ruth?
Yes. Oh my gosh. She is a famous food critic. Like if I'm eating dinner with someone, I feel like I should eat. But she's written a series of memoirs all about her life being a food critic. And she's the coolest. I got to meet her at BookCon a couple years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just want to pick your brain. She's very, very cool.
Awesome. So you have 2 people who are experts in food and Michelle Obama. So
the greatest.
Yeah. So you could have whoever Babish is. Babish make you a meal.
Oh.
Ruth can correct it or critique it, and you and Michelle can talk.
Oh.
Sounds
like the perfect dinner.
The perfect dinner party. 3 people you would like to invite to dinner, living or dead.
Well, I'm the type of person who, before I spend a lot of time with people and invite them to dinner, really like to know them. So my honest answer for this would be any 3 of my friends who'd be able to come.
That's fair. That's fair. 3 literary, TV, or movie characters that you would like to have coffee with.
I think definitely Sophie from Howl's Moving Castle, particularly the book version.
Okay.
Both movie Sophie and book Sophie are great, but I really feel like book Sophie and I would get along because I too feel like I'm a 90-year-old woman sometimes who can be a little bit cranky. But yeah, so that's definitely someone I'd like to have coffee with. Sissix from The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers, who I just feel like we could have a lot of good conversations. And Lady Isabella Trent from the Memoirs of Lady Trent series. Because again, like, these are all characters that I feel like even if I don't know them very well as people, we could still have an interesting conversation together.
I love that.
Yeah.
Like a coffee and talk.
Exactly.
Love it. Are you a coffee or tea person?
Coffee. However, I do like tea.
Okay.
But if I had to pick one.
Definitely coffee. Coffee or tea?
Well, that depends. So if I just like need a means to an end jolt of caffeine, then coffee. But I do not really enjoy coffee. If I'm looking to enjoy myself, then definitely tea.
Okay.
So really tea.
Any tea brands that you can recommend?
Yes. So I am a big fan of Barry's tea.
Okay.
I discovered it while I was in Ireland. I get it here in Market Basket, and it's just like good old sort of Irish breakfast tea. The Barry's Gold Blend. It's good. It's strong. It's tea. Yeah, that's what I drink.
Awesome. And are you a Dunkin' or Starbucks person?
So I feel like I want to like just like supersede this and say like I would always rather go to like a local coffee shop.
Okay.
Like locally owned, it's just always better. However, maybe I will get transformed into a Dunkin' person, but I'm gotta shake my Seattle roots and just like Starbucks.
You gotta get to the Dunkies. You just gotta go.
I downloaded the app.
You're
I
on.
don't have Dunkin' in Seattle.
Yeah.
So
now you just have to get it every day until you love it.
this is true. Although I do wish, are there Timmy Hortons here?
No.
No. Oh,
We do have Honeydew.
I don't even know what that is.
Honeydew. I'm gonna turn this off now because I'm about to badmouth Honeydew. Thanks, Lisa.